Hello, welcome to the U.S. Immigration News. We have breaking news. The Trump administration has made the new announced a mandatory registry for the certain immigrants living in the United States. This is yet another controversial move as part of the administration's broader strategy to enforce immigration laws, deter illegal migration, and push forward its long-standing campaign promises regarding immigration policy. As he promised, President Donald Trump is taking a strict approach by mandating a registration process for certain immigrants, which will require them to provide their fingerprints and addresses. Failure to comply may result in fines, imprisonment, or even deportation. In this video, we will break down the details of this new immigration policy, rules and process of registration. If you are interested in this topic and liking this video, please stay tuned until end of the video. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now let's get into the video and get started. What is the Immigration Registry? The Trump administration has announced the creation of a registry that requires all undocumented immigrants aged 14 and older to register with the federal government. According to a statement from the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, individuals who do not self-report could face legal penalties, including fines and potential jail time. The registry will collect the following information from undocumented immigrants: full name, current address, fingerprints, other identifying information for individuals under the age of 14. Their parents or guardians will be required to register on their behalf. According to officials, this policy is meant to ensure that the U.S. government knows exactly who is residing within its borders, a move that the administration claims is essential for national security. What is the purpose behind this policy? The Trump administration argues that this registry is not a new law but rather a long-ignored immigration requirement that will now be strictly enforced. According to the DHS, previous administrations, both Democratic and Republican, failed to uphold this part of the law, allowing millions of undocumented individuals to live in the country without any official record. Historically, registration requirements for non-citizens date back to the Alien Registration Act of 1940, passed during World War II to track individuals who were considered potential national security threats. A similar program, the National Security Entry-Exit Registration System, NSEERS, was introduced after the 9/11 attacks, requiring non-citizen males from certain countries to register with the government. However, this program was suspended in 2011 and formally dissolved in 2016. Now, Trump's administration is reviving and expanding this concept, making it apply to all undocumented immigrants rather than specific nationalities. What happens if undocumented immigrants do not register? One of the most controversial aspects of this policy is the enforcement mechanism. Immigration officials have stated that failure to register is a criminal offense and can result in fines, imprisonment, deportation proceedings. The USCIS, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, website has indicated that once registered, individuals will receive an identification card, which anyone over the age of 18 must carry at all times. This provision has raised serious concerns among immigration advocates, who argue that it could be used as a tool for mass deportations. Political and legal ramifications. The introduction of this registry is expected to trigger major legal battles. Advocacy groups, immigration lawyers, and civil rights organizations have already criticized the policy, calling it a move toward government-sanctioned discrimination against immigrants and people of color. Heidi Altman, Vice President of Policy at the National Immigration Law Center, stated that the registry harkens back to shameful episodes in U.S. history where the government has targeted immigrant communities. Many scholars argue that this registry is unlikely to encourage undocumented individuals to voluntarily report themselves, as doing so would make them easier to track for potential deportation. On the other hand, supporters of the policy argue that every sovereign nation has the right to enforce its immigration laws and that this move will help maintain the integrity of the legal immigration system. How will the registry impact undocumented immigrants? The effects of this new policy remain uncertain, but legal experts anticipate several significant consequences. 1. Heightened fear and anxiety. Many undocumented immigrants may choose to avoid any form of interaction with government agencies to reduce their risk of detection. This could lead them to refrain from seeking medical care at hospitals, enrolling their children in schools, or reporting crimes to law enforcement, ultimately making communities less safe and accessible. 2. Encouragement of voluntary departure. The Trump administration has positioned the registry as a means to push undocumented individuals to leave the country on their own. Officials suggest that those who exit voluntarily might have better chances of re-entering legally in the future. Homeland Security spokeswoman Tricia McLaughlin emphasized this point, stating, "If you leave now, you may have the opportunity to return and enjoy our freedom and live the American dream." 3. Legal challenges and possible delays. Advocacy organizations and legal experts are already preparing to challenge the policy in court. If lawsuits are filed, judges may issue temporary injunctions that prevent the policy from being implemented until legal disputes are resolved. This could lead to significant delays or even the complete suspension of the registry. 4. Increased pressure on immigration enforcement. Implementing and enforcing the registry will require significant resources, as tracking millions of individuals and ensuring compliance is a daunting task. The financial and logistical burden on immigration enforcement agencies may be overwhelming, raising concerns about whether the government has the capacity to fully implement the policy as intended. Who is exempt from the registry? The new policy does not apply to everyone. According to government officials, the following groups are not required to register: legal permanent residents, green card holders, immigrants with valid visas, individuals granted asylum or refugee status, work visa holders, for example, H-1B, L-1, O-1, etc., individuals in ongoing immigration court proceedings. This means that the primary target of the registry is those who entered the U.S. without inspection or who overstayed their visas without applying for legal status. As this policy develops, there are still many unanswered questions. Will law enforcement actively seek out non-registered individuals? Will there be pathways for undocumented immigrants to legalize their status after registering? How will the government ensure that the registration process is not abused for racial profiling? Only time will tell how this policy will unfold, but one thing is clear: this registry will have a profound impact on the lives of millions of undocumented immigrants and the future of U.S. immigration policy. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas, such as B-1 and B-2, work visas such as L-1A, L-1B, and H-1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB-1, EB-2, EB-3, EB-4, and EB-5, and family immigrant visas. Thank you for visiting us today, and we'll see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to the channel for more U.S. immigration update videos.